UFC 284 is a boring card. There's no two ways about it. Of course, you've got the incredibly exciting fight of Islam Makhachev versus Alexander Volkanovski, but the problem is Islam's had 5 finishes in his last 5 fights. So we could either get a huge back and forth war, or we could be staying up all night for 5 minutes of fun, which kind of sounds like my love life. That's the problem with having a card so reliant on the main event, because if that main event lets us down or it's quick, the whole card really suffers because of it. I know that we were going to have Robert Whittaker and Kai Kara-France on the card, which have really just rounded the whole night out, but you know, things happen. Fights get cancelled, but you need to set up a decent replacement, and the UFC hasn't even attempted to do it. I think the big problem is whenever they have an event outside of the US, they really want to beef that card up with fighters from that country or from nearing countries, which I get. You know, you want New Zealand and Australian fighters in Australia. I completely understand that. But don't let the card suffer because of that. You know, also, even if you did want to have, you know, local stars, you could have had Dan Hooker, but they've put him on UFC 285 instead, which just seems super weird to me because he was calling to be on the card. And surely they could have found a lightweight ready and willing to go. You've got Derrick Lewis at the fight night instead, which, you know, you could have easily moved him over to 284. I think it's just some strange decisions, but I get it. You want big fight nights as well. But, you know, I think it's a real shame because I want to enjoy this card, but I don't think I'm going to. So let's take a look at the card and see who's on it. So if we look here, we've got Yair Rodriguez versus Josh Emmett. And it's really difficult to see why they're even doing this interim fight because it's not even like Volk's inactive or anything like that. And of course, I'm really happy for Josh to be getting this kind of opportunity. He's been around a long time. He's put on a lot of cracking fights. You know, especially that fight with Calvin Kate, it was really fun, but he was really close to losing that fight as well. Very, very close decision. Yair lost to Max Holloway, and he got an injury win over Brian Ortega. Do really either of these guys deserve to be the #1 contender for the title? It just seems a pointless fight. I mean, I think it's going to be an enjoyable fight, and I think I'm going to have a good time watching it, but it's hard to get invested in why they're fighting, and I think that's the big problem with most of this card. But, you know, then we've got Jack Della Maddalena, I think that's how you say his name, versus Randy Brown. And, you know, Jack's a great young prospect. You know, he came through the Dana White Contender Series. I think he's on like a 14-fight win streak. You know, and I think him and Randy Brown will put on a really good fight. Might get a cracking KO finish. And the thing is, it's not like this fight's not going to be fun. It doesn't mean anything. You know, neither of them are in the top 10. They're not even in the top 15 rankings for welterweight. I don't see any of them being a contender. Whoever wins this fight, it really doesn't affect them too much in the standings. So, again, it's hard to invest in fights that don't mean anything. You know, and it's not that this isn't going to be a fun fight. It's just, I don't think it's main card worthy. If this was on the prelims, or maybe even a main event of a fight night, you know, even that's pushing it a bit, but I'd still think that'd be a better place for it. And then we've got Justin Tafa versus Parker Porter. It's got such an unfortunate name, that, isn't it? You know, and I'm partial to a big heavyweight fight. You know, you're almost guaranteed a big knockout. And I'm a big fan of Tafa, but he's lost 3 of his last 5, I think, and Porter's lost 2 of his last 5. You know, the matchmaking's good. You know, these guys should be fighting each other. But again, it's not the fights that's the issue. It's the placement in the card. For me, this should be like a fight at the end of the prelims or opening the main card. You know, you get these big heavyweights just swinging away, and we're just going to have a good time. I think the positioning's a little bit bad there. We've got Jimmy Crute versus Alonzo Menifield. This is a fight that's probably much more interesting, and I think probably in the right spot. You know, I'm a big fan of Jimmy Crute, and Alonzo could maybe beat him, and I think Jimmy Crute could beat him as well. And this is some standing in the rankings, you know, because if Alonzo beats Jimmy Crute, he'll take his position in the rankings. You know, so again, it means something. You know, and that's half of it, isn't it? What does this fight mean? And you know, overall, I think the card is very underwhelming, and it's a real shame because you could have had some excellent fights on this. Like I've said, you've got Derrick Lewis, Dan Hooker, all fighting around that same period. Just put them on this card. You know, you've got China, that's very close geographically. Maybe put Li Jingliang on here, maybe Song Yudong. That'd be really fun and exciting. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Thank you everyone for watching. If you can like, comment, subscribe, it really does help us out.